So welcome everyone. So thank you all for joining us here today and for offering our visiting artist, Elisa Harkins, a very warm welcome. So I'd like to welcome you all to the New Harmony Gallery of Contemporary Art. So my name is Audrey Lambert and I am a curator here. It's an honor to welcome Elisa to the gallery and to hear about her experiences and expertise throughout the land around you in New Harmony and in the world. With that, I wanted to read from her bio and share a little bit more on her background with you today. So, okay. Elisa Harkins is a Native American and Cherokee and Mvskoke artist, singer, electronic music composer, and a curator based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Her work is concerned with translation, language preservation, and Indigenous musicology. Harkins uses the Cherokee and Mvskoke languages, as well as electronic music, sculpture, and the body as her tools. She is the first person to sing a contemporary song in the Cherokee language. Harkins received a BA from Columbia College in Chicago and an MFA from Cal Arts. She has since also continued her education at the Muscogee School of Painting and Sculpture. She has exhibited her work at Crystal Bridges at the Documenta 14, the Hammer Museum, the Hurd Museum, and MoMA. So we look forward to learning more from you today, and thank you again for coming to be here with us and sharing all of your research and your experiences as an artist in the world. Some brief notes about the gallery before we begin. So our vision here is to provide an opportunity to expand the discourse around the art that's being made in the world today, also known as contemporary art. So we seek to do this by hosting programs, activities, events, experiences that are aligned with a range of themes and topics that are relevant here, locally, regionally, and across the nation and internationally. I just wanted to plug that next year in 2025 is our 50th anniversary. We're doing a lot to celebrate that. We're planning that now. So I invite you to have an eye on our website, which is usi.edu/NHGallery, as well as to follow us on social media for updates on that. We are at NHGCA, New Harmony Gallery of Contemporary Art. With that, I'd like to hand it over to the Assistant Director of Historic New Harmony, Diane Sanders, to learn more about the program. So thank you again for being here.
Good afternoon. My name is Diane Sanders, and I'm the Assistant Director of Historic New Harmony. I'd like to thank Audra for inviting me to speak with all of you today about our organization. So both the New Harmony Gallery of Contemporary Art and Historic New Harmony are outreach and engagement programs of the University of Southern Indiana, which is located about 30 minutes away in Evansville. USI is a Carnegie Foundation community engaged university, and we offer continuing education and special programs to more than 15,000 participants annually through outreach and engagement. Since 1985, USI has provided oversight and management of properties in the historic town of New Harmony, which, as most of you know, is a community with a rich intellectual and cultural heritage. It was the site of two utopian community experiments in the early 1800s, and today is a destination for tourists. By preserving New Harmony's utopian legacy, Historic New Harmony inspires innovation and progressive thought through its programs and collections. This work expands the original intent of the university's involvement in New Harmony, which was to nurture this living laboratory of ideas, a place where students and teachers, tourists and scholars, leaders and seekers could come together to experience, explore, and create. Historic New Harmony manages 23 non-contiguous sites throughout New Harmony, including 17 sites that are contributing properties to the New Harmony National Historic Landmark District. Our properties include the Ekvnv Visitor Center, where our visitors' journeys begin, but also include 19th and 20th century sites like the West Street Log Cabins, the Sullivan Wolf House, the 1830 Owen House, Church Park, and Murphy Auditorium, among others. We also own and maintain several parcels of land surrounding the Harmony Cemetery, which is managed by the New Harmony State Historic Site, and which we'll be focusing on today. Historic New Harmony and the New Harmony Gallery of Contemporary Art share a unique relationship with one another. Some of our properties are home to the public art collection of the New Harmony Gallery of Contemporary Art, and installations include Sam Van Aken's Trees of 40 Fruit, Ian Demetrius's Healing Palindrome, Don Gummer's Fountain of Commitment, and Jim Buchanan's Oculus. I treasure this shared venture with the gallery, and it's one of the many reasons why I came and joined this organization. This art adds a new layer of interpretation upon the existing site and/or built environment that allows us to explore historical themes in unique ways that traditional historical interpretation cannot. Earlier I mentioned New Harmony's National Historic Landmark status. The nomination form requests information such as areas of significance, periods of significance, and significant names. For New Harmony's historic district, these fields include social history, 1800 to 1824, and 1825 to 1849, and Owen, Robert. Clearly, New Harmony's two utopian community experiments are why New Harmony is listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and why the U.S. government has deemed New Harmony worthy of preservation. Historical interpretation can be defined as the process by which we describe, analyze, evaluate, and create an explanation of past events based on primary and secondary historical sources. The ideas of areas of significance or periods of significance are significant to historical interpretation, as it allows us to rein in the scope of our story, focus on what is important, and have context. But in the process of assigning these terms of significance, we simultaneously assign terms of insignificance, consciously or not. Here in New Harmony, these historical layers take on a visual aspect in the Harmonious Cemetery, where it appears that we've buried our Indigenous history, and yet the mounds rise amongst the Harmonious unmarked graves, forcing us to acknowledge that there's more to New Harmony's history than we may have been led to believe. Well, I have not seen Ms. Harkins' installation at the TubeFactory, nor have I seen your documentary. I have read about them, and people say it's for. I appreciate how artists push us to question what we know and how we know, push us to expand our boundaries of knowledge, and push us to critically analyze and reanalyze our past. Interpretation best practices continually evolve, much as our understanding of the past. In the past decade or so, I think the lines of significance have blurred or softened, allowing us to tell a more well-rounded story from multiple viewpoints and/or to be more inclusive of additional histories. In a place where we pride ourselves on being a living laboratory for ideas, I can think of no better way of fulfilling our mission by supporting opportunities like this one today that encourage us to open our hearts and expand our minds to new possibilities. Thank you.
History, Stongo. My name is Elisa Harkins. I'm Cherokee and Mvskoke Creek. I'm Bear Clan, and my tribal town is Coweta, and I am the first person to sing a contemporary song in the Cherokee language. And I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, which, because of a historic U.S. Supreme Court decision, is recognized as being on the Cherokee, Osage, and Muscogee Reservations. So, land back! In 3, can I get a land back from you? 1, 2, 3. Land back! Woo! All right. My work is concerned with language, translation, and Indigenous musicology, which can be seen in this project. This is called Wampum. This is an act of Indigenous futurism where I sing in a combination of English, Cherokee, and Muscogee to electronic music that I have created, and sometimes there are backup dancers, and this song is called Peyote, and it is in the permanent collection at Crystal Bridges. So through this project, I'm trying to teach myself these languages that have been erased or taken away from us through forced assimilation, and put it out into the world and have it go into the future by having it play on the radio or being pressed into Muscogee Mvskoke, which is a Muscogee Creek and Seminole hymn. And the translation of the lyrics are, "This may be the last time, we don't know." And the hymns are older than any of us, and we know that because they traveled on the Trail of Tears, which was the forced migration of the Cherokees, the Muskogees, and many others from the southeast to Indian Territory, which later achieved statehood and is now called Oklahoma. And I share this video with Danny Wesley. Danny went to high school with me at my high school, and we later met up in Tulsa at a Muscogee language class. And I said, well, I want to make a video for one of the hymns. And we went to a Muscogee church service, and we decided that this would be the song that we would make a video for. And for the video, I made the shirt that Danny's wearing. That's called a ribbon shirt. And I made the canoe, and I worked on the Cherokee tear dress that I'm wearing in the video. And I really wanted to, sort of touch on this idea of the Trail of Tears and this sort of secrecy and, being able to sing your songs and but having to do it in sort of a secret way. And this is an installation for that piece. So this is shown with the 3 black canoes. Some people say that they look like coffins. And the lyrics are on them in Muscogee and English. And then there's the tear dress that I'm wearing in the video, as well as Danny's ribbon shirt. And then as a sort of a plinth, they are on the canoe from the video. And then the video is in one of the canoes. They cut a hole in one of the canoes, put a monitor inside, and so you can hear the audio and watch the video as part of the installation. And this is another video that I made for one of the hymns. This is Ekvnv, or The Last Day. And this was shot in St. Augustine, Florida at Fort Marion, or the Castillo de San Marcos. And this was a prison. So during the Second Seminole War, Osceola was imprisoned right there. That was the window to his jail cell. And he had 20 Seminole followers with him. And they took Osceola to another prison outside of Charleston, and the 20 followers stayed here, but then they escaped. And there are different theories as to how they escaped. So some people say they fasted, and they took medicine, and they went out the bars of the windows. Some people say they stood on each other's shoulders and went out the window. But there was a moat around the fort, so that would have been difficult. Some people say, so they were captured under a flag of truce, so they were illegally captured. So some people say, oh, the guards felt sorry for them, they let them go. Some people say they bribed the guards. But my elders say that they, two of my elders said that they shape-shifted into owls and they flew away. And one of my language teachers said that they shape-shifted into ants and they crawled away. So this video is in honor of what happened here, and so all descendants from all 20 of those families are still living in Florida, and possibly singing this song in their churches. Fort Marion was also the first boarding school, residential school. So the youngsters punish them if they spoke their languages, different things that then went on to be implemented at the Carlisle Indian boarding school. And this is written in Tommy Orange's newest book, Wandering Stars. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It's amazing. And this is another project that I do with music and dance and language revitalization. This is Radio 3. This is done with a dancer in Montreal called Hanako Hoshimi Keynes and another dancer in Stockholm, Zoe Pollock. And this is an album, a vinyl album, gatefold album, double LP, and this is available at Western Front and also at the Portland Institute of Contemporary Art. I am sold out of them. So these are photos from the performance. This is an hour-long dance performance that features I made all of the music for the hour-long dance piece. And there's also an essay in the album by James Goddard. And this is the back of the album. This is a photo. We had a tour recently, actually, in July in Marseille. But before that, we were on tour in Seattle and Portland and Birmingham, UK, and Stockholm and Montreal. But just to give you an idea about the piece, at the beginning, it kind of goes through dance history. At the beginning, we're wearing all white, and we come out, we don't look at the audience, and we're kind of referencing Trio A. And then I crawl to the center of the stage, and a microphone comes down, and I grab it, and I start singing, and then the tone just completely changes, and the dancers have 3 duets, and then I come out on stage, and I have a vocoder, and I'm wearing a futuristic regalia, and start singing, and it becomes a concert. So we consider this a piece of dance in the expanded view. And this is a song from that piece. So a lot of the music that's in Radio 3 is also in my solo project, Wampum. And this is one of the songs, and it's called Peyote. figure out how to do it online. We all know why. I had gotten a grant to do the concert series in person, and yeah, we all had to go inside and stay away from each other. So I would broadcast it on Twitch, which actually made it a little bit easier because I didn't have to worry about people traveling. And so this is Laura Ortman, who's an Apache violinist, performing from Santa Fe. And then, so Hanako, one of the dancers I work with, she's a curator at CCOV in Montreal, and I asked her to produce some of the shows for me, and she just did a really fabulous job where there was, you know, different camera angles, and animations, and different shots. So this is a shot from Mo Clark's show of a two-spirit drum circle. So usually men are the only ones who can drum at the big drum. And so they said, well, we're two-spirit, so we can do whatever we want. And they had this, you know, really fabulous, you know, shot from above of their two-spirit drum circle. And I also started my show, Mahaya Radio, which was streaming from OK1 in Tulsa, and also was picked up by, you know, WQRT.org in Indianapolis. So yeah, it was streaming from Listen Here in Indianapolis. And I also published a CD of Muscogee and Seminole hymns. This is what our traditional Muscogee churches look like. So this is Sand Creek Baptist Church in Wewoka, Oklahoma. And the men sit on one side and the women sit on the other side, and there's no musical instruments, there's no pianos, no guitars, and the sound is supposed to come together and create a wall of sound, and the songs are not fully complete unless it has a man and a woman's voice together. And also during that time, when I was at Fort Marion, I decided to continue going south, and I went to Okeechobee, Florida. And so in their community, my language teacher at the time told me that this was the last church at the Brighton Seminole Indian Reservation that sang the hymns. And so I went down there and I went to their church service, and they weren't singing them anymore during their church service. They said, all the elders who sang them have passed. And so we don't sing them anymore, and they had like pianos and guitars and, you know, all kinds of things, and we're singing hymns in English. But so these are the last people in the community who sang the hymns. And the woman on the top left is Jewel Lavada, and she is the language teacher in the community, and she's teaching the children the hymns as part of their language lessons. So hopefully they will reappear in their church service. This is part of a project that I've been working on called Teach Me a Song, and it's on tour right now. It's getting ready to go to Mid-America Arts Alliance in Kansas City. And basically it's 9 different Indigenous songs. There's a portrait, and then there's sheet music, and then I make a shawl, textile piece to represent each song. And then there's also a video of all 9 songs. So it's an Indigenous song preservation project. You could also consider it a language preservation project. And this is Louis Gray, and he sang the AIM song. He's Osage, and this is like a shawl that someone would have worn to the occupation of Wounded Knee, or the occupation of albatross, and it has like a name patch down at the bottom. And then this is Eli Hurdle. He sang a Dakota prayer song, which is sung during like the sweat lodge ceremony. This is Cheyenne Rain LeGrand, and she sang Thunderhawks Cry Too, which is a rendition of a song that her mother wrote. And her mother goes by Chickley's, and she was nominated for the Polaris Prize this year, actually. And this is We Live in the Woods by Agali Seed Juge Mackey. So Agali Seed, when I recorded this, was only 19 years old, and he sings he's a language teacher, and he's pretty fluent, and his songs are all in Cherokee, and we're very proud of him. And this is Ekvnv with Spotted Bird. Kaylin is Cherokee, and this song is out on Horton Records. And this is Travis Mominay with Greasewood Song, and Travis has over 400 songs, Indigenous songs memorized, but he wrote this song specifically for this project. And that's sort of like him. On his Instagram, he's always like driving and singing traditional songs. So he wrote this song while he was driving and singing, and so that's sort of what the shawl represents. And this is Marilyn Conway's with Hold Her Pillow Tight, which is a round dance song that she created, and it's kind of a love song, but it's also sad, and it's really great in the round dance tradition. And then these are the White Buffalo Singers, and they sing Grandmother's Song. And so this type of scarf is called a kukum scarf, which means grandmother in Cree. But all Indigenous people call it a kukum scarf. And the song that they sang was so moving, and it was so cool to see like an all Indigenous girl, like they're teenagers, they're in high school. And they're like a hand drum group, and one of them is trans female, and it's just really inspiring, and their song is really amazing. It's like, grandmother, teach us the ways, teach us our language, teach us our traditions. It's a really great experience to see them sing. And then, it has a video that goes along with it of the 9 songs. It's about 30 minutes long, the video is. And I will continue to work on this throughout my life and continuously add to it. And then here we are in New Harmony. So in 2022, I was asked by Shantae Marsh to come here, and she just wanted me to do a site visit, really. So she said, hey, I'd really like for you to come visit TubeFactory, and then we'll go check out New Harmony. And while I was here, I just really wanted to do another video for one of the hymns, and I wasn't sure about the connection to the land. Muscogees consider themselves from the southeast, and Alabama and Georgia, that area. And but then we went to Angel Mounds, and then when we went to Angel Mounds, we talked to Mike Linderman, and he said, well, the language that they most likely spoke was Muscogee. So then, I took that piece of information and went with it and decided, okay, then I will go ahead and make a video for the hymns, with the hymns. And so these are some different shots in New Harmony, the maze. And This is inside the graveyard. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting tobacco down, so it's sort of like a Indigenous recognition or prayer for those who have passed, or also just like a recognition of the land. And the funny thing, I see that you have the Haunted New Harmony t-shirt on. And so after we were shooting here, I was with my videographer, and he was staying in the poet's house, and I was staying in Mother Superior. And he said that one of we took like a little lunch break, you know, and he said he went back to his house and like one of the cabinets opened by itself. And then I was in the kitchen at Mother Superior, and I pulled out a glass, but then the glass behind it flew into the sink and broke. And we were a little freaked out. We were pretty freaked out. I wasn't sure what to think of that. And then, as part of the research that I was doing, I also heard that there were burial mounds under the Wabash. So I'm putting tobacco down in the water at the Wabash. At that time it was flooded, so it was a little bit easier to go out there and shoot. We went there more recently, and no one would let me go out. Everyone was like, "You're gonna get pulled away, so we're not letting you go out into the Wabash." So this is the exhibition at Tube that's up right now, and these are spirit houses. So these are Muscogee and Seminole grave markers, grave houses. So if you come to Oklahoma and you come to one of the Muscogee churches, you can see the grave site, you know, close to the camp houses, and so you'll see just, you know, a field of these little houses with like, you know, fake flowers on them that have been bleached out by the sun. So I wanted to have these in the gallery with the cemetery behind it. I guess now that after today, I kind of feel like maybe it should have been the Wabash in the background. But I wanted to have like some sort of marker for the deceased Indigenous people that have been there. I know that the New Harmonists didn't want any grave markers, that they were a utopian society, which, you know, I really admire, and like I think that their goals of equality for each other are very admirable. But they didn't have any tombstones or any markers, and because they felt like everyone was equal. I felt like there should be some sort of monument or some sort of, you know, artwork or some sort of Indigenous presence that would, you know, indicate that this was, you know, this is Indigenous land as well. So, so in the exhibition, there's also the tear dress that I'm wearing in the video. And this, the tear dress has a really interesting history. It actually came about in the 1970s as part of the Cherokee Nation, the Miss Cherokee pageant. And so Cherokee royalty is, you know, actually like a very, I don't know, a very important position. And the type of dress was sort of created for Virginia Stroud, and she was competing in a buckskin dress, and everyone said, oh, that's not Cherokee. And so legend has it, no one knows if this is the truth. They say they found a trunk that had traveled on the Trail of Tears. And when they looked inside the trunk, they found this dress. And that this was what Cherokee women wore in the 1800s. So I thought it was very fitting and, to wear a dress that was considered to be from the 1800s in New Harmony with, where would you get a better set to work with, not in Hollywood. So this is the video that I made here, and it's called Ekvnv Ladies, which means, Ekvnv means the one who gives us breath, which we could translate to God or the creator. And then ladies means dwells, or you could say they, she, them, they are everywhere. So the creator dwells. Sorry, let me get rid of the mouse. Muscogee in English. And so the thing is that the tornadoes have started happening all year round. So even in winter time, which is unheard of. So sort of thinking about just different communities that have been impacted by these winter tornadoes and by climate change, and also thinking about tornadoes as like how they appear in our indigenous sort of like myths, or not myths, but like storytelling, I guess. So like if you've seen Reservation Dogs, you know, there's the scene where there's the guy on the roof with the axe, you know, and he's, you know, I think it's in Cherokee culture, they say that you can split the tornado with an axe. And then in Muscogee culture, they say that you can take one of your, we have this thing called stomp hands, and there's turtles, turtle shells. So you can take a turtle shell from your shakers, from stomp hands, and put it on your porch, and the tornado will go away. And then there's also a tale where it's a man and a woman dancing, and it's her ribbon skirt is making the tornado funnel happen. And so yeah, that's the show at Tube, and I'd like to share with you a really short 2-minute video. So I was recently awarded the Creative Capital Award to make a documentary about angel mounds, but I think I may have to pivot the project, and it may end up being, I'm not really sure. I had a really great talk with Kelly just now, and still trying to figure out what to pivot the documentary to. It may just be that this was a trade route and that many different tribes were here, and you know, who were they, and you know, and what was happening, and was it just for ceremony, or was it for other reasons, and or it may be about different mounds all over the U.S. and different repatriation or rematriation, you know, ways of going about it, because it seems like everyone is trying, everywhere I go, everyone's trying in a multitude of different ways. Some people say, I'm trying to give this stuff back and I can't, and some people say, oh, we have this, but we don't want to give it back. And then, you know, there's all different kinds of stories about these objects. But anyway, I'm just going to play this for you. If anyone has any ideas or any leads for me of directions that this documentary could go in, you know, I'm all ears. So.
Ekvnv, land, the sacred mother from which we came. History, Stongo. My name is Elisa Harkins. I'm Cherokee and Mvskoke Creek. I'm Bear Clan, and my tribal town is Coweta. And I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, which, because of a historic U.S. Supreme Court decision, is recognized as being on the Cherokee, Osage, and Muscogee Reservations. Land back. In 2022, I was invited to Angel Mounds to research who the original Indigenous inhabitants were. While I was there, I learned that an excavation had taken place starting in 1939.
I've tried to get Muscogee Nation to, I don't know, get some interest or try to participate in some sort of investigation, but they, their response to me is that we're from the Southeast, you know, from time immemorial. So they just say, oh, we understand ourselves to be from the Southeast, and we were never ever in Indiana, or even, I think they say like we were never even at Cahokia. So I don't know, interesting. Anyway, I'm performing on Sunday in Indy at 2 p.m. And then I'm also performing at the MCA Chicago at the end of January, so January 31st and February 1st, and that will be a big, big show, and there will be dancers, and then I'm doing a hand drum workshop, and so we'll have a group of locals, and I'll teach them a song, and we'll do a hand drum song, and then Danny from the video will be there as well, and he'll join me on stage for singing the hymns, because the songs are not complete without the man and the woman's voice. So, yep, and I'm going to end it with this video that I just put out. This is my first music video that I've ever made, and this is on display at the Albuquerque